इतना सफर है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
A very good afternoon to each and everyone who has joined us today for this webinar. With great hope that everybody is safe, we warmly welcome each one of you to our Business Opportunity of a Chai webinar series. This is a digital platform where the objective is to represent the brand of the day. Franchise India is the brand which was established in 1999 with an objective to provide business solutions to investors as well as brands. We have helped thousands of investors in getting the business solutions and franchise options from us. And we truly claim that no one sells more business than us because we have helped international and national brands to expand their business with our pan-India offices. We welcome management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Maria, and our second panel member, Ms. Sonia Chaudhary. Both are leading team of business consultant who is helping day in, day out each one of you to get solutions from us. The brand which we are representing today is Devola, the brand which is known for its men's ethnic retail chain. And they are the exporters to many countries like Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Singapore, London, and Mauritius. And it's our privilege to welcome Ms. Nisha and Mudaffar to talk about the brand. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today and ready to share your entire journey with us, as well as business proposition which you are offering in market today. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Archana. I'll just share the screen quick. Yeah. So Nisha will be taking over from here. Before she does, I would like to actually introduce who Nisha is and what she has done so far, and then she can talk about the brand thereon. Good morning, everyone, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Franchise India team for setting this up. So to start with, Devoiler Private Limited is like Archana mentioned, it's an online, it's a men's ethnic wear brand that we have launched, and the designer behind the brand is Nisha Singh. She has actually been an award winner in London Fashion Week and also participated in New York Fashion Week in 2019. And she was the first fashion designer from West Bengal to walk the ramp in the Fashion Scouts Award. Devoiler Private Limited was launched in the year 2018, and it has been progressing henceforth. So I'll hand it over to Nisha from here to talk about the brand a little bit, and then we'll go through the model.
Hi everyone. When we started Devoiler, the thought behind starting Devoiler was that fashion should be for all. because I was dealing with very very niche clients, and but everybody wants to be fashionable, so we wanted to get fashion at everybody's doorstep, and that's the reason we started Devoiler. Also, like we never compromise with the quality of garments or quality of our products, and that's the reason we are here today, and we are speaking about our brand. Our forte is very much like we are very much into very very exclusive designing. As you can see on the screen, we do a lot of paintings, we do a lot of hand embroidery, and we are giving employment to almost in this area where we are doing, where our factory is, we are giving employment to a lot of poor people here, because this most of the thing that we are doing is through hand, and it's all handwork. Also, we are into accessories also in now, and we are in future we plan to enhance it and get into other things as well.
And also, just to add over here, when we talk about men's ethnic wear, yes, there are a lot of other brands in the market, but a USP that we hold in the market today is that we provide premium and affordable range of clothing wear. Now, if you look at the product range, the sherwanis, where you can get a sherwani even for up to about 2,000 to 2,500 rupees, kurtas at about 1,000 rupees, pajamas for about 300 to 500 rupees, Nehru jackets for 1,200 to 1,500, and wedding jewelry accessories that men usually find very difficult to find. We're offering at a very competitive and very economical rate, which are of again very premium quality. None of this is, when you look at the
Yes.
fabrics, when you look at the design, when you look at the finishing, you would see that it is of premium quality, but the price ranges are very, very affordable.
And possibly that's the reason we are able to export it well, and our clients are really really loving our products when we're exporting it as well. So
Yeah, talking about him.
these are just my some of my recognitions which I got, uh, uh, passing on to.
Yeah. So after this, we would like to just, as Chana had mentioned previously, we have exported garments to London, Mauritius, Malaysia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, even a little bit in Dubai, and we expand. We keep hoping to expand into other markets in the near future as well. With the unemployment issue that is a part of major communities, especially in West Bengal, we are trying to bridge that gap with Devoiler as much as we can. We do a lot of, like we mentioned, we do a lot of handwork with Katha, hand painted stuff, embroidered stuff, which is all hand done. And this, gives opportunities to communities within the reach of our factory. And we also, one of the achievements that we have had so far is that we are also a brand that is already online. It is visible. People know about it. We have been very successful at it. Devoiler is already on Myntra. It is on Flipkart. It will soon be available on Amazon and other portals as well. Uh, so the idea behind obviously doing a retail store now is to make sure that it is a harmonized retail concept, meaning that it's digitally connected with a good human experience and a physical layout present. So that is the experience that we want to give a consumer and our franchises going forward. uh, and also talking about the brand, the model, it is an overall investment of about 20 to 21 lakh rupees. The interior fit outs, we assume that will cost about 5 lakh rupees. The total equipments would be about 2 lakhs. We give up an upfront stock of 10 lakh rupees. The pre-opening marketing cost, opening ceremony cost would be about at 1 lakh rupee. The franchisee fee is very minimal at just 3 lakh rupees. Expected annual sales at 50 lakhs, I would like to take in detail in the next slide. We are assuming an average gross margin of about 40 to 45%. The ROI period, like most apparel brands, we are also at 36 months, give or take. But the difference that we have seen in our model, when you look at this, when you look at the financials, the important thing that we have to highlight over here is that the numbers are very realistic. We haven't exaggerated on how it's going to, the outcome of the numbers. We are not saying that there will be sales of 50 to 60 bills a day. We are keeping it very realistic. We are keeping it to 5 to 6, and it could do better in depending on the locations. But we have kept it to very realistic, so you can look at the numbers and see that the model is not exaggerated at all. It is kept at very realistic figures. And of course, we would be supporting all the franchises with the site selection, from the point of site selection to the development of the store, to making sure the interiors are done properly, the alignment of the garments, the sections, the selections, everything is done accordingly. The supply of the stocks, assistant in making sure that the furnitures, the equipments, everything that has to be done is given by the franchisee, or supported at least by the franchisee. In terms of ongoing support, we one of the key USPs that we have is Nisha being very creative. We do come out with a lot of new products at least every few months, every quarter at the minimum. We do come out with new lines of ethnic wear, also depending on the season of the season. So if we have a wedding season going on, we would have a new collection every time for the wedding season. It's not like restocking the old stuff that we had. So this is one of the ongoing supports that you would get very much from the brand. Marketing would be centralized, and there would be a lot of digital media and social media marketing done with the help of the franchisor, that is us. And of course, in terms of training, we would give product training, textile pricing, competition benchmark, how to operate a store, and also the best practices to run the store to make sure that it is profitable. And this is the ideal profile of an investor would be anyone who ideally owns a property that is of about 500 square feet. Would be for them it would be easy to start this store, because it is not very operationally heavy. If you have good 3 employees that you all can identify, you all definitely can start this business without being involved on a day-to-day basis, with a total investment of about, as we said, 21 to 23 lakh rupees. You all can get this done. Second generation entrepreneurs also welcome. Investors who are interested in the apparel sector are most welcome to join with us. The top 50 cities that we have identified according to the map right now: Jaipur, Lucknow, Dehradun, Shimla. These are in the north, and then fast growing cities are Ludhiana, Kanpur, Rohtak, Jammu. If you talk about east, I would say Siliguri, Jamshedpur, Cuttack. These are very fast growing cities in terms of apparel, menswear. In the west, Gujarat is a very, very good market. Surat, Vadodara, these are extremely good markets. Nagpur is also a very good market. Uh, in the south, definitely Vijayawada, Vizag, Coimbatore, these are extremely good markets. Talking about the brand and why Devoiler, the entire apparel industry is a massive industry. It's at about $1 trillion retail market, and apparel retails at about $85 billion in 2021 and growing at about 11.5%. Uh, I think one of the gaps that we're bridging is that there are a lot of stores out there with men's clothing, but again, there is limitations when it comes to men's ethnic wear, and especially when we talk about men's ethnic wear, we also have a fusion of a little bit of Western touch to it. So there is a collection that is an Indo-Western collection along with the ethnic wear. This is a very rare combination that you get, and a lot of people love this sort of stuff, especially men. Me myself being a male, I know if I have to go and shop, I would have to go at a very classic store that would just sell very basic stuff like kurtas, sherwanis, and things like that, and you wouldn't find things that are very different. But when you come to a Devoiler store, you would really see that we have a collection that is very different from others. This is one of our key USPs, that the collections are very, very different. And this is going to be a very good advantage that we would be providing to all our franchises, is the collection. And then also the other advantages that we have is that the requirement of space is only 500 square feet. Now we know that in certain metro cities the rentals are very high, so hence when you have to invest into a space of 2,500 square feet, you're looking at a large investment just into the rentals and things like that. But when you just require a 500 square feet space, that part of the investment reduces a lot, and this is one of the biggest advantages that we will have. And of course, the price point is uncomparable to any other competitor in the market, where we can offer kurtas at 1,000 rupees, offer sherwanis at 2,500 rupees, offer Nehru jackets at 1,500 rupees. These are going to be key advantages to all the franchisees. Thank you, and I hope if there are any questions, Mr. Maria would like to take it over from here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, really appreciate. And you have actually built a great brand, and more importantly, I think Nisha's background in terms of her knowledge about fashion and building a capability is absolutely a great advantage to all the investors who are now willing to look at the category. So we'll start with some questions, and you need to also give insight, because a lot of people don't come from a fashion background. They're now looking to get into fashion, and especially the ethnic wear space. And so let me start with giving a little bit perspective. This is a space which has probably have the best per square feet of throughput, which comes from an ethnic wear. And ethnic wear is not something which every fashion brand can handle. It needs a lot of detailing, a lot of craftsmanship, a lot of right kind of sourcing. So Nisha, I will start with asking the first question: how is your supply chain structure? And that's something which you can really give us a highlight. And why would you be different? While I have known your business and known your brand, but for our audience to understand, what would the differentiation you would create in your offering versus anything available in the market? And you can actually take the overall landscape of this whole ethnic wear, and how the men ethnic wear is, while the women ethnic wear is a very large marketplace, so there's a lot of players and a lot of brands available in that. But in the men fashion, men ethnic, there are very, very few companies are available, and there's some are very successful ones like Manyavar and likes of them are available. Why your product would be a big differentiator? And so over to you.
Most importantly, Gaurav, when we started with the whole concept of this devoiler, we when we were experimenting and checking the market, we were surveying it. There was only one or two names which were very evident, like Manyavar, and if you go Gatha, there are 2-3 names which were very evident, and people were actually buying in bulk. And also because we started online first, our first experience was online. So we started it with Myntra first, and Myntra we got amazing response. Like per day we were selling approximately 200 plus pieces. So it was a very good experience for us altogether to understand the menswear market, because women's wear, if we actually, I also I also deal in women's wear. But at the same time, I was dealing with menswear as well in my own boutique. So menswear was amazingly like everybody was very very interested in buying menswear, and they always used to tell me that they don't get good menswear anywhere. So that was my first thought that when I started with men. Of course, I did my research and everything. My R&D was done. Then I started this brand, as I wouldn't have. And Myntra actually supported me a lot with my whole concept, because I got that confidence towards the whole thing. Again, the USP, of course, it matters because we can provide a lot of designs. Look, designs is not a problem with us. We are going to give very, very different, unique design, and without compromising with the quality of the garment. We are not going to compromise, not with accessories or even on, say, the buttons, say the branding. We are not going to compromise with anything when it comes to our brand. We are like trying to give, as I said, a fashion is for all for us. So we stick to that. We want to give fashion, real fashion, to everybody at everybody's doorstep, and that's what we are trying to do here. So that
And
is
also, Mr. Maria, talking about the supply chain structure, we source all our fabrics from very specific areas across India. I mean, when it comes to silk, we have very specific areas that we source silk from. When it comes to certain fabrics, we specifically source those from there. We have our own manufacturing unit based in Kolkata in West Bengal, and we use the communities around our factory to help them to create and actually manufacture the goods. We stitch everything in house, but the work is, work of certain kathas and paintings, embroidery that run across these and then supplied to the market thereon.
yes, we do have a lot of job workers as well for us. So supply will never be a problem for us. We have a very we have the infrastructure we have set is very we can extend it, we can expand it, so it won't be a problem at all for us ever. So that way we are very much settled, and we really aspire to grow more in that. So we are already working on it.
Absolutely, and I think where Calcutta itself is a so to say a foundation for this work, and there's a lot of good karigars available in Calcutta. And but the selection of the right material and the right designs and the right aesthetics is something which, as a designer, comes from you, and that combination really makes it great. Because other brands which you see in the market, where a few names we've taken, they're very industrial. They're not designer led, and
You see the same type of thing everywhere. So we wanted to do something new and provide fashion to everybody. That's our basic motto.
Yeah, so it is a diffusion model in a fashion we call the diffusion sense, which is a mid-level where a designer would produce still in a larger quantities, not like couture, but it has a very strong fashion element in that. And sometimes what you see on the other shelves, which are other companies which are very industrial, so they would have to do a mass production for something needs to be done. So you still get a designer brand in a reasonable cost, and that's what the offering which we are talking about today. So now let's get into the second question, which I would have on our selection of merchandise. And we all know that there's a huge category surge which has come in, especially for occasion wear, for other people. People wear this, men would wear these kurtas and Nehru jackets and likes of them. And this have become a very large demand side available all across the market. But how do you would differentiate what you would offer in, say, Gujarat to versus what you would offer in a particular state? It can differ from different selections. So how your merchandising would have, and your experience of Myntra would come in, because Myntra actually is a national platform. So you know what people buy at various occasions. Any thoughts on that?
See, one thing, Gaurav, I'll tell you, there's certain thing which is forever, like hand embroidery, which is for everyone. Like it's not restricted to any one area, but still we are doing R&D for sure in all the states, so that we can understand if somewhere ikat fabric is used more. Like every place there are different type of fabrics and different type of things that people want to experiment with. So we are certainly doing our R&D on that, and we're certainly going to provide it accordingly. But there are certain things which is forever, what do you call it?
Yeah, I mean, what she's trying to say is that certain products are universal.
Universal, right?
It works everywhere, and most of the designs, when we are creating the designs, we try to maintain this concept so that it can be used in every area of India. But yes, of course, when it comes to South, maybe people would prefer different types of colors. When it comes to East, there would be a little bit of a different taste in terms of colors and what sort of fabrics they would use. Of course, the northern sectors, they would have a little bit of a different taste. That is the only variation we would provide. But other than that, we always try to keep everything that we do to a universal standard.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we call it in retail the 4 sections which every retail company would have. One is what are called the classics, which is our destination product. Then we have specialty product, which say Nisha as a designer would really believe in, and she would be better than anybody else, which is normally the destination product, which is classics, is about 40%, and 30% is what she's good at it. And people start identifying a designer with that particular thing. When you see a black embroidery, something, Sabya Sachi has something to do with it. Yes. Because he was, I don't know where he came from.
Paintings on kurtas, you will find me around.
Actually, the Calcutta was one of the states where women in vision also wear black, and there was and Sabya took it to everywhere now. Almost every marriage in India, a woman is wearing a black. So it's a great designer story. What she would bring in her part of the design element in 30%, and then you have seasonal, which is about another 20%, which would come in the particular season, which you need to put on, and then you have dress materials or stoles or things of that nature, which are impulse because you want to match it with something. So this is how your offering would really come out. Now, my next question is that you have actually designed, and this came from a lot of work between our consultants and you are offering probably the most affordable fashion franchise today. This is something which I would like to highlight, because a lot of times companies tend to spend a lot of money on stocks, interiors, and so on and so forth. And what they have done is that they've really reduced the capex so that it is giving better ROI to people. So you only invest about 10 odd lakh rupees in stock, which comes at a wholesale value, which means that the MRP of the stock would be much higher. You would get, and we'll talk about the margins and structure. So you're carrying a certain amount of stock level, then you can improve the stock level as you come to season. So say you are in around Diwali or a marriage season and things of that nature, you need to uplift your stock levels at that time, because your throughputs would become bigger and structure, or you're doing some exhibition, or you're doing the entire thing. So there is a lot of business which we can do today, because every city has these smaller wedding exhibitions and things happen where you can also participate and get the business. So so that's 10 lakh rupees of stock, 5 lakh rupees of interiors, small monies in your deposits and other things, all put together, everything is about 21 odd lakh rupees. You can start this business. And if you have your own store, then this business is great because they are leading from the brand, the product and design. And that's some differentiation in fashion always gives you advantage. And if you are leading from design and I think you can never go wrong, because once you have a good customer, then you become a subscriber to you and continue to come back regularly on this piece. So now let's go into a little bit of a margin play, what kind of margins we are giving and how we are doing. And if you are deviating or you're giving flat margins or you're giving different products at different margins. And also one other question I have is that would you also be open for doing some bespoke, which means people want to really have some special designs to be done, or people want to do some improvement, some marriage order comes in and they want, say, kurtas for the entire barat and things of that nature. A lot is that happening these days. So are you doing that part also?
Yes, I think if it's of some sort of scale, we would love to help the franchisee to get that business, and we would love to help them to get it through the structure we have. But also, when we say bespoke, we don't really want to focus a lot on it, because as a designer, then her time really gets consumed a lot. If it's, say, just for a single kurta, it becomes difficult. But as you said, Mr. Maria, if it's for entire Bharat and they want to do it for their entire, maybe all the relatives, all the friends, if they want to do entire set, we would love to help.
Also, when I started this business, I just started this with 1 lakh of rupees. So it's like when we are giving this opportunity to people, because I understand what money means and how we can grow a business. And today, wherever we are, we started with just a small amount of money. So certainly, this business can grow like anything for sure. Also, regarding the marketing aspect, also we are going to do a lot of fashion shows, not only in India, outside also, because I'm linked with London and New York Fashion Week very well. So we are going to do like there'll be very very good marketing from our end in respect to that. So not only the basic digital marketing and basic media marketing we'll be doing Amazon Fashion Week and other things as well to get our brand known to people. And the margin that we are offering right now is 35 to 50%, which is which Mufadul will elaborate upon. So
Yeah, I think
some
Mr.
light.
Maria will
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah, sure. So this is 35 to 50% depending on the different categories and different structures. And this would change a little bit when you have EOS going on, end of season sales, then when you want to clear this pieces. So the discount would have to be completely shared between the margins, which we passed on that. But it's a good margin business. So one of the areas which people should know that ethnic wear gets the maximum margin in the fashion space. And that's where the value is. And you are able to do at least 3 to 4 times turnover of your stock levels. So even if you are setting on, say, 16, 17, I mean, while 10 lakh rupees of a wholesale price would mean 17, 18 lakh rupees of MRP pricing, you will be able to do the minimum of 4 stock turns, which means that you will be able to achieve anything which is 50 to 60 lakh rupees kind of a minimum sale volume. Actually more than that, but 70, 75 lakh rupees of a sale volume. This is on the stock level, which you keep at that level. But if, say, you start doing very well and you get the entire thing, you need to improve your stock level.
Yes.
So and you have to improve your stock level. Say if you want to achieve a sale of hypothetically 1 crore or a 1.5 crore, then you need to improve your stock levels. But no rush. I like what she has said. It's a very honest opinion. Sometimes companies dump too much of stock initially, which is not good, because the first season, first 2 quarters, you're not able to do that. And rather, you should have ability to refresh your product stocks level rather than dumping at the first stage. But companies have the intent to put a lot of pressure on franchisees to put a lot of stock.
No.
You still need to have adequate stock levels, because if you don't have adequate stock levels, sometimes you're not able to give the right choices. But in menwear, if you are able with starting with a 10 lakh rupee stock, you are adequately placed, doing it. Women wear, you cannot do it because they have more, they want more choices. Men are still easy to handle, right? So over to you, Sonia, for your questions and questions from audience, please.
Thank you. Friends, I'll request if you have any questions that you want us to take, we'll take it on your behalf, and also do mention city, which city you're keen for. So maybe to, start, I would also like to add that, the last many years we have seen maybe surge in the organized players, especially in the men's segment, and some of the leading brands have acted as a catalyst in the growth of this segment. And today, when we look back and see, it is not just limited to occasions, but we see this segment also coming in the mainstream. And what I also liked about the model is value and very competitive pricing with quality, which are becoming very important for a consumer, because India still is at heart, a country which values value. It's the heart of Indian consumption. So, Nisha, I'll take some questions from the audience. And before I do that, I was going through the presentation, and while we went very swiftly on the overall operating cost, would you want to maybe take 2 minutes out of that and help us in understanding typically what kind of sales, what kind of unit economics which works for your brand, which includes maybe the typical rentals, how the rentals are to be calculated typically, what is the kind of staff and the manpower which is required at the outlet.
Sure.
And this is also a very beautiful picture of the studio. This is how the studio should look like, and this is aesthetically right and very good imagery it gives.
Yeah. So thank you, Sonia. I mean, just to take over the OPEX first, what we would recommend is that a 500 square feet store, even in a tier one city, we would be able to get it at about 40 to 50,000 rupees. This is the range that we would recommend to have it at. The total staff cost, that would be about 3 staff, one store manager. Ideally, that could be either the franchise owner, then a salesperson. If they want, they can have an additional junior salesperson, and then obviously maybe a helper or a cleaning staff is required for them to run their day-to-day operations and things like that, for cleaning, serving water, tea, whatever it is. That total would come up to about 40,000 rupees a month. And the local store marketing would be about 1% of the total revenue, whereas that would be the spend from the franchisee, and also the marketing support will be there from the franchisors. And the electrical cost, the utilities rather, total utilities would come up to about another uh, 20,000 rupees or so. The operating cost in Q1 is what we are focusing. Why we have broken this to Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 is to give a better perspective of the first year, because most businesses struggle to sustain in the first year. The first 2 years of the business is very, very critical. And if they're able to save even a little bit of money within the first year, that gives confidence to the franchise owner. So that is why we first focus on the OPEX, to make sure that the OPEX is low and it's not at a high operating cost, and then they burn out a lot of cash if they don't have sales. Keeping it low is the key, the number one key element that we're focused on. So this is per quarter. This means that the total monthly expense would be somewhere around 100,000 rupees or less, or 1 lakh rupees or less. And then talking about the sales, orders per quarter, we are looking at about 550 orders per quarter, taking about 26 working days. And then we also look at the per day, we have averaged at about 5 to 6 bills per day. Now, 5 to 6 bills per day is very much achievable, very realistic. And also, when you look at any other store in the locality, you would see that there's much more footfall. As soon as you are aware, one person comes to buy, one male folk comes into your store, buys, he's going to talk about it to 10 of his other friends. That's how you're going to build a lot of footfall into your store, by offering the right type of products, the variety, the differences in design and the collection that you would not get anywhere else. Like Mr. Maria said, there is something which is of the 30% that is specialized to the brand, that is going to be the eye-catching product that we are going to have. And also, when it comes to the sales, we are expecting kurtas to be there at about 275,000. When people buy kurtas, usually pajamas go with it. That would come to about 1,37,000. Sherwanis, again another 2,06,000. White sherwanis, we feel that there will be sales. One is that the MRPs are slightly higher than kurtas, not slightly, maybe 2 times, but the sales usually are better with sherwani, especially during seasons, wedding seasons. Nehru jackets have become I think a common man's product in India today. Every other person mostly owns a Nehru jacket, and they love to wear Nehru jackets for every other occasion that they have. Even people wear it in offices today. You know, most of them wear it everywhere. I usually wear Nehru jackets, so I prefer Nehru jackets over wearing a suit. Again, like you said, Sonia, this is probably something that is at Indian at heart. So we prefer to go, with this direction rather than going with a full suit or a blazer. And in terms of accessories, we have kept only a very small amount into this, but we believe that accessories could do well. Uh, to be honest, the reason for this is because you really can't find accessories, especially for ethnic wear, in any store in India. It's very, very difficult. There are very few people, maybe places like Manyavar might have some, but at very high cost. If you have, if you have to attend a wedding, or if you are, if it's your own wedding, if you need jewelry, if you need men's accessories for the wedding, you wouldn't find it anywhere. It's very, very tough to find it. And most likely you'll have to go to some store and get it custom made. But this is where we are going to give that addition uh, to the men's ethnic wear, saying that here you go, you have the collection, you have your pocket squares that goes with the Nehru jacket, you have your cufflinks if you want to wear with your kurtas, you have your necklaces, you have your turbans, everything available in one store. So this is going to be the addition that we are going to give along with it. And we're expecting, the Q1 sales to be at about 9 lakh rupees. The average discounts that people might provide on to customer basis, and then net sales would be about 8.5 lakh rupees. Gross margins are at about 41%, and then that takes per month, it gives an INR of 1,17,000 rupees. So this is the key advantage that we will have, is that we will be able to show profits from the first month itself, from the very first month. The reason being, the numbers are very realistic. It's not that, we are saying that you need to do 20 sales a day to achieve this. No, we're only saying you need to do about 6 bills a day on an average, and you're still going to be able to achieve this number. And as you can see that the ROI achieved in year 3, just before year 3, we would have the entire ROI, the entire investment given back.
Helpful. The question which I wanted to also pick is, because you currently have presence, you have only channel presence, and there are many websites your products are available. Now, I have two questions related to this. First would be, because you're now coming up with franchise stores, and we saw almost every important city in India, from maybe up to north to down south, you would wish to cover. And now, and you currently also sell online. So will these sales also be fulfilled to the franchisee when it comes to maybe an outlet operating in that location? One. Second, is there a price parity that you will maintain, between your offline and online stores? And my third question would also be, while you put very clearly the locations you want to get into, but you already online, and I'm sure you might be witnessing some cities or some locations which are high in demand, and there must be some data which you might be sitting on, which would kind of reflect upon maybe some priority locations for you to enter. So three things, one is on the pricing parity, the other is fulfillment, and third is maybe the data which will maybe help you prioritize a location.
So the first thing, the fulfillment. Now, when it comes to online orders, definitely see if it's something that is from Myntra or Amazon or one of those portals. We actually have to. They have a more centralized system of working, so we cannot pass that business to the franchisee. But yes, if we get any inquiries through our social media channels, we get any inquiries through IndiaMart, we get any such inquiries, we definitely pass it. We will pass it to the relevant franchisee to that in that location. Second thing is the price parity. We will definitely have a price difference. There will be a better pricing offered at the store than what it is online. That is going to be the idea, because people uh, have to take trouble going to the store, looking at the product, but have a better experience and understanding the product before they buy it. So we are going to make sure that there is at least a 15% gap between the two online and offline pricing structures. The third thing, what was the third thing that you mentioned, Sonia?
I'm sorry.
what was the third thing that you mentioned?
Third was on the priority cities. I'm sure.
The priority cities,
Yeah.
what we have understood is that Ranchi, Jamshedpur, places like Surat, these are top cities, Lucknow, Chandigarh. We feel that these are four, Guwahati, these are 5 cities that we have seen that are working really very well. And we would like to really start off with those if we can. I mean, definitely every city is open because locally, most people, I think the investors who are here within their local communities, they would know exactly what their markets are like in terms of such brands, such ethnic wear requirements. But in terms of cities, we feel that these are the cities that we have highlighted the top 5 cities.
Okay, very helpful. Now, I also take another question, which is from the audience. We have Mr. Sudhakar Rao, and this is on the tailoring. Would the outlet of the franchisee also need some kind of a tailor support? Either he has direct or he ties up to customize the fits.
Yes, it is recommended to either tie up with a local tailor if possible. I think that is the most feasible thing to do because our fits, we always try to provide, into the medium, small, large category sizes so
We
that
have standard fit.
standard fit.
I don't think we require something like that. But
it won't be very often. So having a in-house employee is not required. But in case if there is a little bit of customization that is required, we do provide those margins in the garments that we provide, so that can be done with the help of a local tailor.
Okay, very helpful. And another question which I wanted to also pick, is on the training aspect and typical profile of people that you think would be, a right fitment for a franchisee of your brand.
So when it comes to the typical franchise profiling, I would say that anyone who is interested to start a business, maybe a second generation business, ideally, they have a capital, they have the capital investment, which is very low to 20 lakh rupees is not much in India. And if we are able to start with something like this, and they have the capacity, most importantly, we also do, another brand, which is also with Franchise India. But what we always look at it is that people who have a little bit of time to invest into the business. This is a key aspect because when you leave it solely on the employees to run the business, it becomes difficult. But if you're able to provide maybe at least 3 to 4 hours a day into the business, it helps in the first 2 years of the business until it's settled.
And we also want people who are, ready for expansion, because the way we are also growing, we would expect them also, of course, our franchise is also going to grow with us. So we would expect people who are ready to grow, who are willing to, put in that, if some extra stock is required, they're willing to put in that money and, grow it. So that's what also is an aspect that we are looking for in people.
Very helpful, Nisha and Muttafil, for coming in and addressing the entire audience. And before we leave, while our East team would be very closely working with you and all these locations that you've mentioned, we'll prioritize these locations. Would you want to also maybe suggest a day in the coming week where we can bring these prospective interested franchisees for a one-on-one meeting or a call?
I think 24th Wednesday would be good.
Okay.
Dubai on 20. Yeah.
Sure. I think we can block 24th of the month, which is Wednesday, the coming week, which is about 5 days from now. Great. And before we leave, maybe I'll also request if we can have maybe a last message to the audience who's listening both live and on the webinar today.
So, we would like you all to invest in Revoiler and earn with us, grow with us. We would like you all to be a part of our team and looking forward to serve you all with the best and let's grow together. Thank you.
Look forward, absolutely. You work very hard to build your business and a great story of a structure, and we look forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nisha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you
Over to
so
you,
much,
Ashish.
Nisha.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Nisha, for this wonderful presentation. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav sir. Thank you, Sonia ma'am. All the dear participants who have joined us today for this great opportunity, do write to us at our business hotline number, which is 97176-83838. We request each one of you to please save this number in your phone book so that you get a regular updates from our side through broadcast messages. Also share your suggestions, feedback at the same business hotline number. On 24th of Feb, we are inviting each one of you to have one-to-one interaction with Nisha. Please book your slot at the same business hotline number. Also do connect with us at different social handles, information on your screen. We are available at these sites. Also connect with Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am at their respective LinkedIn IDs, information on your screen. And tomorrow under 247th edition, we invite you to join us for cloud kitchen based business opportunity. Popio Kitchen is the brand which we are bringing for you, where where the director of the brand would come and digitally interact with you, offering their business opportunity for you. Do registration today so that you get a confirmation mail from our side. Thank you so much once again for joining in today. Have a great day ahead. Stay safe, stay happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.